erase me from the present. I'm obsessing all these questions, why I'm in denial that they tried the suicidal session. Please use discretion when you're messing with the message, man. These lyrics aren't for everyone, only if you understand. Please use discretion when you're messing with the message, man. These lyrics aren't for everyone, only if you understand. My people singing, my people singing, my people singing.
How am I coming in? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? So, thanks for watching. Ben, Bradley, I really hope the two of you are watching at least out there. This frame you're looking at right now, well, this is the last frame that I got of this day for sure. This is Christmas Eve 2014, and we were running around the beach this morning, and I was getting pictures of you guys, and I was getting some videos of you guys, and this frame you're looking at is the last frame of the last video I got of this day. I got of you guys in 2014. I guess you can say that this frame, it's the last frame I got of you as I lived in California. This is the start to ilyBb right here. This is the whole reason behind it. To get the whole story, let's rewind right here and let me start from the beginning. It's been.
You must again.
No, come on, let's go. You guys are taking advantage of the fact that I'm filming.
Come on. What's that do?
Huntington Beach. And Ben. Let's go. Come on. And just like that, darkness. No more videos. Not for a while anyway. Let's go back a little further. That was the end of that day. Obviously, we went back to your mama's house and we spent more time. But that was the end of ilyBb, with me having a camera in my hand to do what I do. So let's take it back a little further. I'm going to take it back to the very first photo I grabbed of you guys that day. Let me bring that up. I'm going to try something new in this video. I'm going to do a couple things. Number one, show you the before and after photos, and just kind of, it buys me more time to tell the story. So this shot right here is me picking you up in the old Audi. Remember the Audi? And look out the window and you can see where you are. You should be pretty familiar with that place. Here's that same photo, but I went ahead and did some work to it, doctored it up a little bit. Just pretty basic, you know. I mean, what's there to say? You're in the back of the car, we're getting ready to head to the beach. Let's move to the next one real quick. It being Christmas Eve, I'm sure your mama wanted me to get you guys out of the house, so we went over to the beach. Here is the edited version of that last photo you just saw. The camera I'm using to take the photos and videos this day was your mom's. She had a Nikon Coolpix L120. It was a good camera. And I didn't have much experience with digital cameras back then. I had lots of experience with 35 millimeter, of course, as I did a lot of photography in high school and coming out of high school. But as I started to work all the time, I just didn't stay in touch with where technology was going with photography and video. So having this camera in my hands for probably the last 8 to 9 months leading up to this point, it really opened up a whole new avenue to me, but I wasn't able to build off of it just because of the circumstances at that point in time. Okay, it's Christmas Eve. We got this kind of background. So anyhow, we're starting to walk towards Main Street, and the surf is huge today. I'm trying to get over there so we can get pictures of it. All the sirens were going off, and a fire truck parked over here. The ambulance came, and here comes another one. So the surf swallowed somebody, but we're gonna start walking back to Main Street. Hey, stay out of the water. Say hi to Mama. Say Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve.
Bye. The video wasn't too bad for that little camera, but I have to tell you, owning the Panasonic GH3 that I have now, what a big difference. The thing is that Panasonic GH3, it came out back in 2012. This is 2014, so the GH3 was out, but that camera ran about $1,800 to $2,000 back then. So what you're about to see this day, I took 25 photos and about 3 to 4 videos. So I'm going to incorporate the rest of that in here. So let's get started with the rest of this. Aw, my little Brary. Take a look at this photo, guys, because it's time for some new perspective. This one is the perspective crop. I cropped this photo by using it's a perspective crop. And I really stretched out the end of that pier there. So it kind of just shrunk Bradley, boom, made him skinny, and it just kind of boom, brought everything around. But yeah, I really dig doing that sometimes. The rest of these photos, I really dug down deep. This day was a real, it was kind of a sad day for me. Check out the surf. This was a gift from Santa Claus himself to all the surfers this Christmas Eve. Here's the edited version of that last photo. Yes, the surf was going off. I named this photo Switch. Can you see why? Just having a little fun with it. I love you, boys. Here's our next photo. Another picture of the surf. I keep saying it was a sad day for me. This is because your mama and I had already discussed the fact that I wasn't going to live there any longer with you guys. And I knew I couldn't afford to try to stay in California living on my own Social Security income. It just didn't work. So that's, I knew I was going to be moving out to Arizona on this day, knowing it was Christmas coming up. So I was walking around this day with complete heartache. My heart felt like it was broken. So I titled this photo Bokeh Hearts. Bokeh is a blur that you use, and if you look down in the right, you'll see the blurred out hearts. Bokeh Hearts. But it's my play on me having a broken heart. I almost didn't use this picture because it's blurry. But there were only 25 photos of this day, and I thought to myself, I'm going to use every single photo. There's no way I'm not going to include a photo just because it's blurry. It's kind of like this day. Let's go to the edited version of this photo. just because it's out of focus doesn't mean it doesn't tell the story any longer. I decided to take this photo and run with it and turn it into something beautiful, don't you think? It's a great example of this day and how life works in general. Just because it might be out of focus a bit doesn't mean that your story is going to get lost. Doesn't mean that you're going to get lost through life. Just blink a couple times, let things come into focus, or just allow it to turn into the beautiful object that it's meant to be out of focus, you know? Sometimes things are meant to be out of focus for us to actually move through life the way we're supposed to. Our next photo, I was very happy to get this photo. Let me go ahead and get over to the edited version so I can tell the story. The story behind this picture, I was trying to get some selfies of us so we would have some pictures of us on this day. And as I was doing so, there was an older gentleman jogging up the beach. And as he was passing, him and I made eye contact with each other, and he saw what I was trying to do, and he just stopped, and he came over and said, "Hey, let me take this picture for you." And I said, "Absolutely, thank you." After he took the photo, he sat around for a few moments and spoke to me. He had a Huntington Beach Fire Department shirt on. He had just retired about 6 months before that with about 20 years on the service there. And very nice older gentleman. I kind of explained to him it was a sad day. I was going to be moving away from my boys soon. And he told me no matter how tough it got, continue to always keep my focus on you boys. Yeah, he had gone through a divorce years and years before this. His sons were teenagers, and he said that it worked out, you know. So it was kind of a godsend that this old man come and talk to me just because I had a heavy heart this day, and he made me feel a little better. And by the way, this photo is supposed to look old and worn. I made it this way, that way in the future, one day, if my grandkids are looking at it, or even you boys are looking at it down the road, it just looks like it's old and worn, you know? Add some character to it, like us. Here is our next photo. Ben always getting his hands dirty. Let me get over to the edit. Much better. Had to get that trash can out of there. Cropped in on you guys a little bit. We went out this day with the whole purpose of grabbing some Christmas photos. That way I could share them. Here's the deal. I was getting into taking photos and videos back then, but I didn't take the next step into editing. I didn't know anything about editing video. I didn't know anything about really editing any photos. So, 5 years later, I'm just now getting to that point, but at least I'm here now. Let's use the old adage here, better late than never. Next photo, let's go to the edited version. Much better. Alright, so I made this one look like another old picture. I dig doing that. But I really cropped out a bunch of empty space, brought the picture in towards you guys a little bit, and this is what we have. I like this shot. It's a much better, I like the darkness of it, how you guys are just kind of shadowed out. Anyhow, let's move on to the next one. Another shot of you guys looking out at the surf. Let's see what we can do to this thing to clean it up. So, just cropped out the empty space, brought it in a little tighter to you guys, and this is what we have. Again, I think these pictures are awesome. Each and every one of them tells its own little story. Christmas Eve 2014, only in Southern California. We love you, OC. Let's get it together. Huntington Beach. Barb loves it. I remember losing 2 pairs of glasses on this beach when I was probably Ben's age, maybe younger, 5 and 6. And it's very surf right here with the old wood pier. Only in California. Look at this surf. Christmas. Whew. Put it to you this way, Santa Claus has blessed the surfers. Just wish I could have done something, gotten out in the water. My young days is what we used to ask for. I love you boys. You're very fortunate. Mama works and you can live where you live. Hey. Hey boys. Come here. We love. Geez, I truly don't even know what I'm going to do with myself one day when I'm not able to take photos of the two of you standing there like that. Okay, so I really wanted to focus in on your face on this one, Ben. So I decided to run with a circle crop. And I haven't touched a lot here on the coloring I do with the pushing and the pulling of the shadows and some color adjustments. I mean, that's something that, I don't know, it's going to vary from person to person because of their eyesight and things like that, the type of monitor they're working on. I'm not working this to an exact science, but you can see there's some slight, the sky is bluer, there's more shadows in the sand might be a different color. But I really wanted to do the circle crop and focus in on your face, Ben. I have no idea what you got upset about. I have, maybe because I told you to take a picture, or you asked for something, or you wanted to do something and we were going against the grain. But I'm going to miss that face, not being able to take pictures of it when you get older and older. I mean, my God, you just turned 12. But you still make the same face. Okay, so you can see, Ben, you got the same face going on in this picture. So I was kind of faced with the same dilemma with this picture. I'm like, I don't want to keep showing pictures of Ben's sour face and him being upset over something. So what did I decide to do? I wanted to concentrate on those sick vans that your mama always made sure that you guys had. I mean, look at those. The Stormtrooper, Star Wars vans. It's Christmas time, 2014. We got new Star Wars movies coming out. I mean, my God, how cool can you boys get? Come over here, Bradley. Come on. Okay, so as you can see, we're on the pier now. Let me switch over to the edited version of this photo. Okay, much better. As you can see, the colors are a lot better in this photo. The blues are bluer. I mean, even the rail looks shinier, right? I wanted to switch over to this photo because it's a good example of the difference in color shift, edited versus non-edited. Here we have another shot of Bradley looking through the rails as we were up on the pier. But pay close attention out. Watch the clouds, watch the sky, watch the water. Can you see the difference? Can you see the green in the water come to life? The blue, the shadows and the clouds. It's amazing what some simple tweaks can do to a photograph nowadays. And these photos weren't even shot in RAW. These are JPEG photos. So if you were shooting in RAW the way I do now, you would have a lot more depth inside of that photo to work with and just be able to create these amazing photos. Here I grabbed another shot of Bradley Let's move over to the edited version so we can see the difference, and then I can tell you a little bit about where we are and what's happening. We're up there checking these guys out, enjoying this surf, because the surf rolled in pretty heavy that day. Again, it was like a Christmas gift from Santa Claus. And Bradley was pointing at the surfers, yelling at them and going crazy. And I thought it was really cool because whether anybody would like to believe it or not, through my high school years of going to Cypress High School, I spent all my spare time at that beach there in Huntington. We were either bodyboarding on the south side or the north side, depending on where the break was coming from and how it looked. So for me to be up there with my boys and for my boys to always be there in Huntington, I'm cool with that because I spent a lot of time out there doing my thing. And like I said earlier in the video, I lost a lot of glasses as a child out in that surf. There's Ben. He still looks upset, doesn't he? I can't remember for the life of me why he was upset. Let's switch to the next picture and I'm going to theorize about this. Actually, it's not the next picture, but let's switch over to the edited picture so we can get a look at that face better. Aw, my little Ben. I just want to run over there and give you a hug. Look at that. God, I miss you. I wish you guys were here right now. Today is July 28th. Yesterday was your great-grandmother's birthday. She would have turned 86. Anyhow, look at that picture. You boys are so big now, and you're getting bigger each day that goes by. Okay, so why does Ben have that face? Boys, you know I've always been honest with you guys, and I've never hidden anything from you. I believe I was pretty sure I was being honest with you that day, Ben, letting you know that Daddy's going to be moving to Arizona. And it was just kind of a crappy vibe at that point. It was just us always going out, always being together, knowing that it was going to be coming to an end. It's kind of the way it is when you guys are out during the summers. It's kind of what you and I always deal with. We always know that our time together eventually comes to an end. And I guess that's ultimately true for anybody. No matter who you are, you're going to die one day, so everybody's time's going to come to an end. But I think that's where we need to realize that the time that we are able to spend together, we really need to cherish that time. And just understand that it's a gift from God, and let's take advantage of it. Here's the next shot. Pretty plain, as you can see, so let's move to the edit. Huge difference, don't you think? I mean, look at the sky. You can see the blue now. Bradley's skin tone has been tamed down. I used a flash on this photo, and so he was kind of overexposed there because of the flash, but it evened things out. I evened it out with the shadows and whatnot. But I really like that photo just because it shows the two of you boys looking out over the surfers and just the water. And I'm always thinking about you boys. I'm always thinking about you like that, no matter where I'm drifting off looking to, whether it's across a lake or across a river, or how I used to look out of the ocean there when I was living there. I just miss you guys. I miss you guys all the time. Here's our next shot. I really like this one, having the two of you that close. I could fit you into the frame, having you stare straight out over the ocean like that. Let's move to the edited version. Again, the colors really pop now. Added some contrast to it. Just looks good. I can't help just to shut up and want to stand here and enjoy the moment with you boys. That's how this photo makes me feel. I really wish I was standing on that pier with you again on this day, knowing what I know now especially. Okay, so here's our next shot. Let's move to the edited version. Little Bradley looking out at the surfers. Yeah, threw some dehaze in there. Cleaned it up really nice. I like that little picture frame that I'm using there. Kind of fades the black into it. Just Bradley checking the surfers out. That's a great perspective. I almost want to say I remember taking that shot. It's just a shot I would normally try to get no matter who it was there. Just who are we looking at? And have Bradley blurred out there using a shallow depth of field. Bradley's blurred out. The surfers are in focus. That was a good little camera for being a fixed lens camera. It was a pretty good little camera. I love this shot. Number one, I'm always admiring my boys as they view things and watch things and observe things. It's just something a father likes to do, is watch his sons learn about things. But I really wanted to make this whole picture seem like a Vans commercial, something that you would see, a Vans photo, something you would see in a catalog or a magazine. So let's check it out. Okay, can you see this photo? Flipping through a surfer magazine or a skateboard magazine, showing off some stormtroopers and some little homeboys watching the surfers roll through on the north side of Huntington Beach. I don't know, I dug it. I thought it was a pretty cool edit. Something simple, made it look cool. Let's move to the next one. Have I told you guys I miss you yet? This is a weird video. I've never done a video like this. I think I've done one narrative video once, and it wasn't anything near this detailed. But I know there's a lot of talking going on. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. I got some good photos and videos still to come, so make sure you keep watching. If you haven't subscribed to ilyBb, let me throw that in there. Subscribe to us. The next shot. Let me move to the edited version before I start breaking this down. Oh man. So the guy in blue definitely has the right of way here as far as I'm concerned. But that guy on the orange board, he's like, shit. He didn't have any rights, but I'm sure he got a decent ride on that. But look at this. You boys live right there in Huntington. You get to see this all the time. Like I said, back when I was in high school, I was always at Huntington. My buddy Jeff Lawrence and I, we were always there. Doing something. If we weren't there, we were snowboarding up a mountain high. That's the great thing about living right there, though. You can wake up like we used to, go hit the surf up early, go to school, get out of school early, be up at mountain high, taking a night sesh, and back in bed before 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, doing it all over again. Okay, make sure you keep your eye open for what I'm about to do to this one. So yeah, I cropped in those three guys right there. Check that paddle border out. How sick is that to be out there with surf that size on a paddle board? Anyhow, it's just nice being out there like that. I hope you guys really get into surfing here soon, just because being able to just paddle out, get out there, sit on your board, and just hear nothing but the silence and just the water. It's just, people who know what I'm talking about. Alright, so check this. This is the last surfer shot. Let's get over to the edited version. I really like the way this one came out. I really truly do. You may notice that light flare that I added down there in the bottom left. I use quite a few little light flares in a lot of these images. I enjoy using light flares when I go to like a black and white, or I start to strip the color out of an image. I might throw some light flares in there because it just gives some dimension to it as well. But yes, this is the last surfer photograph I have taken, ilyBb has taken. It makes me sad. This is the last, well, I can't say this is the last surfer photograph. I've had the GH3 out there to Huntington Beach with the boys, but I haven't done anything with great looking surf like that. If you enjoy looking at these surfing pictures and just looking at pictures of Huntington Beach in general, I have to point you to the godfather photographer of Huntington Beach. I was very fortunate enough to go to high school with this guy, Joe Ketchka. Ketchka moments. If you live in Huntington Beach, I guarantee that you've seen a photo by Joe Ketchka. If you like to just look at pictures of Huntington Beach, I guarantee that you've probably seen a photo from Joe Ketchka. So to my boys out there right now, when you're out walking around on the beach and you see that awesome looking dude holding that big Canon camera, that's going to be my buddy Joe Ketchka. So make sure you go up to him and say, hey, ilyBb is my dad. What up, dude? Looks like that's a swell point right there. We'll see. There's a paddle board. Oh, pan out, pan out. I don't have a solid tripod. Sorry, audience. The shake is a mess. Wait, I still didn't hear that. Get a what? Oh, if you get a neck freeze, show me. Show me. It's just easier for me to see back here. That's why I'm doing this. Have you ever had a neck freeze? Yeah. Does it hurt? Second to the last photo. Let me switch over to the edited one. This is the set of stairs between the pier and Duke's. And I couldn't resist myself just grabbing one last shot. This is essentially the last photograph that I filmed or I took there in Huntington Beach with you boys on Christmas Eve 2014. And from this moment forward, things kind of just got a little crazy, and the next thing you knew, your daddy was out here in Arizona. I miss you boys. Let's see what else I can get done with this real quick. Look closely, boys, and you'll see some broken hearts again. Broken hearts, another play on my broken heart. I miss you boys, and I love you so much. It's been again. Now, come on, let's go. You guys are taking advantage of the fact that I'm filming. Come on. Huntington Beach. My people singing. My people singing. And dead. Let's go. Come on. And this is it. This is the last photo for Christmas Eve 2014. You boys know where this is at. We were here waiting for your mama to get home. Anyhow, this was a long video to make, but I really wanted to just get my voice out there and tell a story for you boys. I love you so much. Life works out weird sometimes. You just kind of have to roll with the punches, you know. I love you boys. I'll see you soon.